Our travels in Florida continue as we explore Olino State Park. We're staying at the Dogwood Campground, which is a little closer to the entrance. There's quite a few trails here. Let's see, I think the bridge is closed. We'll see if it's still closed. Online, a couple people said it was closed. But we're up here. That's a good network of trails.
They have Wi-Fi.
No, they don't have Wi-Fi. It's the amphitheater. Patrick got really excited. He thought they had Wi-Fi. We got so spoiled at the last campground, just being able to like hop on our phones. We're camping at Dogwood over here, which was less crowded because it's farther away, and you can walk the Dogwood Trail to come down here. But the Magnolia Campground is the one that's closer to all the hiking and stuff, but that one also booked up faster, so I had to be creative with our booking.
You can camp over here too?
I think that's a separate thing. Yeah, that's the River Rise Preserve State Park. So there's like two of them, because we can drive down and get to that other one here, and like they said there's a whole other area of hiking trails there. But we're gonna try to do number 4, Sink to Rise 4.7 miler. There's this whole swampy area, and then that leads into the river. And there's the swing bridge. It does look like it's closed though. And apparently there's like a swimming area, but Pat was saying there's an alligator sign right next to the swim area.
I'm
so
thinking about that.
Yeah, it's not instilling confidence. And this water is dark. It's like that tannin stained water, so you're not even gonna see it coming.
I even think of like snapping turtles and stuff
Oh,
like that.
do they have snapping turtles here? They probably do. They're probably bigger than the ones in New Jersey, and ours are massive.
Yeah.
You take your toe off.
I don't feel good about that.
Alright, we'll stick to hiking. They often have these covered picnic tables in a lot of the Florida parks. It's like they know shade is the most important thing, especially in the summer, I'm sure. You need that shade or you're not going to want to be outside. Yeah, I would say swim at your own risk. There you go. This is probably one of the things here that was built by the CCC, which we've run into their stuff everywhere. Look how cool. What a great spot for a party too. Oh yeah, there's the statue, the same one that we saw at the other Florida State Park a couple years ago. That's the swing bridge that it's famous for, and the rangers over there were saying that the water was so high it covered the bottom of the bridge. So they're in the process of fixing it, so we'll follow the detour. That is crazy. The rivers around here just go nuts. I can't visualize that much water. Like we would be underwater right now. That's kind of crazy. There's the story of the town. I read somewhere that it was like a little gambling spot for a while. There are so many unique natural features in Florida. It's one of the reasons that we love traveling here. And Olino State Park has a particularly unique feature in that this river comes to an ending point where it disappears down into these limestone caves. There's a river, and then all of a sudden it sinks down and there's no river. But then in a couple days, we're going to go down to the other end where the river re-emerges out of the limestone caves and continues along its journey. Only in Florida. The space between where the river sinks down and where the river rises up is about 3 miles. And some brave souls have put on scuba gear and actually explored those underwater caves. Not a hobby that I am looking to get into, but because those people explored it, we know how complicated that underwater network is. So this is kind of the part that the park is known for, which is the Santa Fe River sink, where the river actually goes underground.
Weird.
It's very weird. Only in Florida. this is the direction the river is going. And there is where it just vanishes and goes underground. So strange. We continued past the river sink area to explore some of the other trails in Olino. We were going to stick to the surface and check out a couple of the sinkholes. This little area is called Jim's Sink. I guess it's another sinkhole that filled with water. Oh, look at the wisteria. It was such a treat to see flowers like wisteria blooming in early March. That is not something that we see in New Jersey, so I was happy that things were coming to life and we were getting this early preview of spring. And this corner has these very neat lily pads. Huh. I guess there's an audio guide or some sort of guide. That's always nice. They give you some information on your phone. All right, onward. It's the CCC monument. Planted 2 to 3 billion trees, 800 parks built, almost 4,000 historical sites restored, and 6 million days fighting fires. We come across the work of the CCC very regularly on our travels. We're always amazed at the incredible impact that this had. What was that?
Okay. Yeah, he's gonna bark.
No, Brad, calm down. Brad, you're fine. Are you gonna get up? We have fun things to do today. You tired? Oh. Poor dog. He dogged too hard. Today we decided to head over to Gainsville and do some exploring. It's finally starting to get warmer. It was really chilly for a few days, like really chilly in the morning.
The other night got down to 33.
That's cold. So I looked up a couple dog-friendly things to do in the area on bringfido.com, which is so helpful. If we go somewhere, it saves me a lot of research time. I can just go on there, and we found a botanical garden that is dog-friendly, which is so neat. So we're gonna go check out Gainesville, and it's gonna be like 84 today, so I'm excited. We were finding it challenging doing this longer trip with Redford, but luckily we were able to find things here and there that he could do.
Your destination is on the right.
As we walked into the visitor center, Patrick asked me, "Are you sure this place is dog friendly?" Because it felt weird walking into that building with the dog, but they definitely are dog friendly. We saw several other dogs walking around enjoying the grounds. I wish more botanical gardens would allow you to bring your dog. It was so much fun. When you come out of the visitor center, they'll tell you that you can make a left to go toward the water gardens, or you can make a right to go toward the east gardens. And we decided to go to the right because it's a bit less crowded in that direction. Everybody kind of gravitates toward the water gardens. But these gardens were beautiful, and it was so nice and quiet over here. There's a bunch of frogs sitting on the side of this pond. Don't want to scare them. It was nice to wander the paths of the garden and find each of the little specialty areas. No, Red, don't drink that. Although this garden is not as big as some of the other ones that we've been to, like Longwood Gardens, it's much less crowded, and we always enjoy that. Is it a lake? Looks like a lake. It is a lake. The gardens are named after this 250-acre lake located just to the side of the gardens. This garden is a little different from other ones that we've been to. Well, today's a Wednesday, but it's really not crowded. Like, we've only passed a couple other people. It's so quiet. And the paths are kind of narrow and winding, so you just feel like you're wandering, which, you know, we love to wander. And then there's all these little kind of hidden waterfalls and different plant environments mixed in there. Very well done, and so glad it's dog friendly, because if it wasn't, we wouldn't be doing this right now. Huge fish. Oh. They're huge. Oh my goodness. They're well fed. Yeah. You can actually feed these fish in the visitor center. There's a little dispenser. You drop a quarter in, you get a handful of fish food. So I would say that's probably why these fish are gigantic. Another nice feature of this particular gardens is that you're allowed to bring in food and have a picnic anywhere on the open areas. You can bring a blanket and some food and just hang out. We saw lots of people doing that. I thought that would be such a fun way to spend an afternoon. But we were planning on checking out a couple other things in the area, so we headed back to the car to figure out what our next destination was going to be. The original plan was that we were going to leave the Botanical Gardens and then go into downtown Gainesville, and then on the way back we were going to go to the Devils Millhopper State Park, because that was one of the things I had tagged in my Google Maps as somewhere that I wanted to stop and see. But as we got closer to Gainesville and the traffic got worse and we were thinking about like trying to find parking downtown, we were both like, oh yeah, we don't like going into cities. So, I mean, sometimes we do, but you have to be in the mood for it. You have to have the energy for it. Cities are difficult. So we were like, don't feel like doing Gainesville today. So we just swung around the side and came up to the Devils Millhopper, which is like a sinkhole that you can go down into, and it's dog friendly. So that's the new plan. This park is just slightly northwest of Gainesville. Throw the money in there. Oh man, it's full. Okay. Doesn't want to go in. It's usually a $4 entry fee, and we started having a little bit of difficulty keeping singles on us, so we ended up getting a park pass later on. It's a nice little entranceway. You know you're in Florida when they have an outdoor display, because the weather's better. It shows how the sinkhole forms. I guess we go that way. I have no idea. We'll see how Red does on the stairs. He seemed okay earlier. Yeah. He really doesn't get a lot of practice with stairs because we don't have stairs and your parents' house doesn't have stairs. Oh, good boy, Red.
You're carrying a dog.
That's what I was worried about. I was like, we get halfway and he's like, no, I don't like this. No, he's doing great.
That'll work out.
Good boy. So this sinkhole is much bigger than the ones we saw yesterday at Olino. And I guess the bigger they are, the more it kind of changes the ecosystem and the plants that are found in them, because it's like a microclimate. There's more moisture, it's a little cooler than up at the top. So you find all these different plants and things that aren't up on the top. And it goes down quite a ways. The more you learn about the natural ecology of Florida and the limestone, you start to understand that this state is kind of like a giant water filter, especially when you get down toward the Everglades. So as the water comes down here, it goes underground and goes into the park that we're staying at, Olino, and then the Gilchrist Blue Springs, that's where we're going next. So it's crazy how it's all connected. All the water in Florida. Alright, get our exercise on the way back up. It's so neat though, it's like really damp, lots of ferns. A different feel than when you're on the top. Thanks for coming along with us on this exploration of northern Florida. We have a lot more to share with you, so make sure that you are subscribed, and we'll see you in the next one. Oh, they have one of those dog water fountains. Hey, do you want some water? I love that. It's such a good idea. A special thanks to our Patreon members for your support and encouragement in making these videos. Redford, Patrick, and I will see you in the next one.
Well, you worried about you and me, the injustice, the next president to be, the news and what you hear, your career. It's time for you to face those fears, and it's all fair to be aware, and I'll be there. So don't be scared, just take a deep breath of air. And 1, 2, 3 to 10, you begin to focus again, and though time flies, we'll have enough to realize this bigger than the both of us.